Alright, so this is Woodstock's new panel. It's raining outside right now. It's kind of blah, so I'm not going to be flying this today. I was hoping to do this with the camcorder, but oh well, here we are. So this is the upgrade that we did with Woodstock. Basically, he's got a brand new panel all the way across. We changed out some of the instruments, a lot of the radios. So just starting out, one of the things they do when they built the new panel is they put new lights in. So turn the new lights on, everything kind of brightens up, which is nice. Anyway, yeah, so airspeed indicator and turn and bank coordinator, they didn't move, they stay where they're at. They put the strobe light decal here. Just says don't operate them in the clouds or in proximity to other aircraft. Get the G5's attitude indicator and the HSI. They talk to each other, so if the attitude indicator, if this goes away, this should work. It worked in flight the other day. I was playing around with it. Anyway, this will kick into an attitude indicator in flight. I don't know if it'll, yeah, there we go. So it switches over to the attitude indicator. And of course, normally it's the HSI. So we'll boot this back up. Comes back on. And it aligns itself. Of course, I'm a tail dragger, so it's in the nose up position. It's really bright right now, so I'm going to just kill the backlight. Take the backlight down. Put that in. At some point, that should go back to HSI. Once it's happy. If not, what you can do is you press the button here, take it back to HSI, press the button again, back to HSI. Cool thing is when I put any kind of flight in here, flight plan in here, the CDI will show up. So let me see if I can load a flight. Active flight plan. Oh, right there. I gotta go flight plan list. Let's say we're gonna go to going to Gettysburg. So we activate that. Activate the flight plan there. Go back. Shows up on the map. Here's my magenta line heading to the southwest. And look at this. Now I have a now I've got a CDI showing up here, and it's getting that information from the GPS. Gives me the distance information to the next waypoint, which is an intersection I use just to stay south of the some of the airports, other airports in the area. I think it's yeah, Quakertown's just like due west of here. Anyway, the other neat thing is it has a heading bug. So here's the heading I'm supposed to maintain. The heading bug shows up there, 352. That's my course. The bearing, or I'm sorry, well, no, that's my bearing of the aircraft right now. But the heading bug shows up to 209. The bearing to the next waypoint is 207. It's kind of bouncing around because I'm in a hangar and the GPS isn't all that accurate. But the heading bug will also show up on here once I get close, and the course deviation indicator will move on there as well. That's on the G5, so just pretty slick. Moving along, hey, it's 11:11. That happens like every day. Clock stayed the same, 5353 Quebec, altimeter, VSI. That information is also over here on the HS, or I'm sorry, on the attitude indicator. We have airspeed over here, altimeters over here. When I start moving, this little arrow here will show vertical speed. So all that information's there. Anyway, pretty slick. The two can talk to each other. Radio stack, got the avionics master up top. PAR 200 A, that's the this is the audio panel, intercom and comm. Right now it's selected as comm 1. Right now, so I'm using comm 2. It's kind of hard to see, but the lights are showing as comm 2. If I go to if I want to use COM 1, I go to COM 1. Kind of hear something out of the speaker there. If I turn that speaker off, but anyway, that's how you go back and forth. If I want to monitor COM 1, press that, and I can hear the frequency on COM 1 in there. If I want to go to split mode, and Melissa can talk, she's my co-pilot, press both of them at the same time. They both show up. Want to go to COM 2, just go to COM 2. So in COM 2, or in split mode rather, Melissa would be working COM 2, I would be working COM 1, but she doesn't really do that too much. So COM 2 is an ICOM A220. That is the again, it's set up as a COM 2. Then of course I have the Stratus ESG. The I part of it is behind the panel. That's a 3i, Stratus 3i, that's mounted remotely to talk to the iPad. Conversely, with this, there's a GDL with the Era 660. There's a GDL 50 remote. That's also in the back of the panel somewhere, and that's getting ADSB information in for the Era 660 and get weather and traffic. It's amazing how much quicker it pops up with the ADSB out here. Down here, wingtip controller, ELT remote, cockpit lights. So this is really cool. I don't know if this is going to show up well or not. Yeah, there we go. You see the blue hue. The plan is to change the filter from the overhead to blue as well. I found a source for blue film, so I can go to the blue instead of the red, which is pretty neat. I'll turn that down. Over here, electronic tach, EI International electronic tach, fuel flow indication. We disconnected this from the GPS only because I wanted the GPS to provide the nav information to the G5s, and it only has one output for nav information. So that nav information now goes to the G5s. That I just set on time to empty, and we also installed a oil pressure temperature gauge. That's from Electronics International. We couldn't get the Electronics International field approval for their fuel gauge. It's non-TSO, non-STC. You have to get a field approval, so we ended up going with the AeroLogic OPT1, I think it's called, or no, FL202. That's the OPT1. That's Electronic International's gizmo. Anyway, so this is an FL202. We had to replace the senders. Senders are original to the aircraft, and they were shot. So, yeah, it is what it is. That's it for the panel. Other things that we did, the mission creep that came along. We installed new Skybolt fasteners to the cowling, so the cowling is no longer has all the screws all around it. We also put a battery minder on the battery, so that when I do stuff like this, it'll charge the battery, also desulfate it. It'll maintain the battery a lot better throughout the life of the battery. So that's about it. That's Woodstock's new panel. Added some new breakers for the G5s. Of course, the vacuum system is gone. Thank God for that. That won't break anymore. Gained about 8 pounds of useful load with all this, the other stuff that went out and this stuff that went in. No major surprises other than the only surprise I think was the sender, the fuel tank senders. That was it. Everything else, worked the way it was supposed to. Yeah, very pleased. GriggsAircraft.com. They're the ones that did this up in Tunkhannock, PA. Skyhaven Airport. Matt Griggs did most of the work. Yeah, he and his guys, and they did a fantastic job. I can't say enough good things about them. Very reasonable in price. They did a lot of work in here. A lot of work on the aircraft, and they treat this the same way they do their $1 million Silver Eagle conversions. So anyway, hopefully hopefully everything. Oh, the other thing they did too is over here is an audio out jack. I have to test that, which I already did with the camcorder. I just got to play it back at home and see if it worked. So, well, I'm coming up on 10 minutes. Questions, comments, concerns, email me at cessnadrvr@aol.com.